I'm going to tell you a little bit what we're doing today. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 5 of our 6-week to Samhain course. Today, the theme of the class is Fearless Heart. Okay, so we're going to end the class today a little bit differently than we normally end, and we're going to end it with a mudra in our meditation. I'll tell you a little bit about that before we actually do it. This mudra is all about having a fearless heart, about being able to be open to whatever comes our way, and to find the courage to sink into the things that we need to sink into, to deal with, and everything like that. So there's a lot of heart openers. So opening the chest in today's class, both opening the chest at the front and maybe opening the chest at the back as well. So we're really focusing on this heart center chakra this morning, Anahata chakra, okay? So we'll start the class with an activation that opens the chest, an activation that you know well, Vega Kriya. Then we'll move into our sun salutations. We'll do our 4 rounds of sun salutations. And then we'll move through our asanas that are focused on different elements of opening the heart space. Then we'll have a relaxation. We'll do a very short pranayama today because I want to have time to do the mudra, to explain what a mudra is, the benefits of it, and we'll use the mudra in our meditation. Okay? So mudra is just a hand gesture. It's just something funny we do with our hands. So I'll show you that, and we'll talk about it at the end, and then we'll have time at the end of class to chat about it if anything arises. Okay? I've just seen, Maria, we're perfectly matching this morning. We're in the same colors. Okay, so we're going to start this morning with Vega Kriya. Okay, so this is one you all know. We've done it a number of times. It's one of my favorite activations in the morning. Really gets the energy flowing. It encourages us to clean out the lungs. So the idea with Vega Kriya is that we're taking in breaths and we're bringing up the air that's down at the bottom of the lungs and expelling it out. Okay, so I'll show you first of all to remind you, but I'm sure you all know. So it's the one where we have our hands together like this, yeah, and we start in the center of the chest. Feet about hip distance apart, slightly wider, or very wide, if you're like me. So we start with our hands in the center of the chest, taking an inhale here. You can watch me for the first one. Exhale, we bend the knees, fold forward and folding it about halfway, okay? And then lifting up the hands, lifting up the arms, the hands are pointing down towards the floor, and then squeezing the shoulder blades together as we release the head and exhale through the mouth. When you think that you haven't got any breath left, we lift the hands some more, really squeezing the shoulder blades and encouraging all this air out as much as possible. And in doing this motion where we squeeze the shoulder blades together, we're actually opening the heart space from the start of class. Okay, so we'll do that 9 times. You don't have to count, I'll count. Okay, the only thing to watch is that when we lift our hands up, when we lift our arms, there's a tendency for the hands to go up. The hands are supposed to be pointed down. So even though we're down like that, the hands are down. That's it. Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, so let's start. Middle of the mat or wherever. Feet hip distance apart, as wide as you need to, as close as you need to. We'll join all these points of our fingers and our thumbs together and bring them into the heart center. Take a breath here to begin. Just a normal breath in and out through the nose. And then on our next breath, we're inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, bend the legs, fold forward, halfway, arms up, hands to the floor, and breathing out through the mouth. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Coming back up. Inhaling when we come back up. That's it. Exhaling, folding forward, lifting the arms. Fingertips pointing towards the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Expel all the air. Coming back up. Inhaling when we come back up. Exhaling, folding forward. Coming back up. Inhaling here. Exhaling, folding forward. That's great. And fingertips pointing towards the floor. That's it. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Coming all the way back up. Inhaling when we come back up. Exhaling, folding forward. That's it. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale all the air. Imagining coming all the way back up. Imagining that we're trying to get all the air from the very bottom of the lungs out. Exhaling, folding forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Coming all the way back up. Inhaling. That's it. Exhaling, folding forward. All the way back up. Inhaling here. Exhaling, folding forward. Coming all the way back up. Inhaling. And exhale. All the way back up. This is the last one. Inhale, exhale, folding forward, lifting the arms, pointing the fingertips towards the floor. Really exhale on that air. Squeeze the shoulder blades. All the way back up. Take an inhale. And we'll pause for a moment in Tadasana. So pausing for the moment, allowing the eyes to softly close. Bringing our attention inwards, bringing our attention to the heart center. This point is going to be the most important point for this class. Finding that soft smile of mudra. And bringing the tip of our tongue behind our front teeth, channeling all this energy upwards to the very crown of our heads. Very softly blink our eyes open. And we're ready to begin. Don't mind me, I might sit down a bit more than usual today, okay? But as always, you listen to your body. If you need to sit down, okay? So we're going to move to our sun salutations. All we're focusing on in our sun salutations is finding our own flow, okay? All of you know your sun salutations quite well, and I hope that you know them well enough to be able to continue them as a daily practice once classes end next week, okay? So we'll do 4 rounds. We'll start slow, we'll integrate the breath, and then we'll do a couple of dynamic rounds, okay? So let's come up to the top of the mat. Gemma, if you've just started, if you do 3 of those, that's enough. And if you want to join in the sun salutations, that's enough, okay? So we'll stand up at the top of the mat and find Tadasana. Feet are hip distance apart, finding that pelvis being tucked, lifting the shoulder blades up towards the ears and dropping them down onto the back, pointing the fingertips towards the floor, bringing our hands into the heart center in this prayer position. Closing our eyes for a moment, just taking a breath here, steadying the body before movement begins. And then we're ready to begin. So we're sending the hands up towards the ceiling, separating the palms as we look up, bringing the palms back together, folding all the way forward, fingertips to the mat, then bringing the fingertips onto the shins with the thighs looking forward, flattening the back, folding forward again, fingertips lightly pressing onto the mat, bend the knees, bring your left leg back, left knee is on the mat, hands into center, sending the hands up to the ceiling, following your hands with your gaze. Bringing our hands down and framing the front foot, we're stepping back into our strong high plank, then bending into the elbows, lowering ourselves all the way down, and then lifting the head and chest in Bhujangasana. Coming up over the knees, tucking the toes, lifting the knees and lifting the hips into Adho Mukha Svanasana. down, downward facing dog. Then we're looking forward. We're bringing the right leg forward, left knee is back on the mat. Hands into center, sending the hands up to the ceiling. That's it. Bringing the hands back through center, stepping forward, folding forward into that lovely folded Uttanasana. Hands on the shins or thighs, looking forward with a flat back. Folding forward again, and then coming all the way up. Sending the hands up to the ceiling. Folding ourselves down towards the floor. Looking forward, flattening the back. Folding forward, fingertips on the mat, right leg back this time, right knee on the mat. Hands into center, sending the hands up towards the ceiling. Bringing the hands back together, framing the front foot, stepping back into Tripadasana, our strong high plank. Bending into the elbows, squeezing the elbows into the ribcage to lower ourselves all the way down. Then lifting the head and chest in Bhujangasana, coming up over the knees, tucking the toes, lifting the hips into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then looking forward, we're stepping the left foot forward, right knee is back on the mat, hands reaching up to the ceiling. Bringing the hands back down, stepping forward and folding forward. Looking forward with a flat back, folding forward again. Inhaling, reaching up, integrating the breath. Exhaling, folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back. Folding forward again, fingertips on the mat, stepping the left leg back, left knee on the mat, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhaling, hands to the floor, stepping into Tripadasana, and still exhaling, bending into the elbows. Lowering ourselves all the way to the mat. Inhaling, lifting the head and chest towards the ceiling, opening the heart. Exhaling, coming up over the knees, lifting the hips up to the ceiling in downward facing dog. Looking forward, stepping the right leg forward as the inhale, lifting the hands to the ceiling, still inhaling. Exhaling, hands coming down, stepping forward and folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back. Folding forward again, inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, exhaling, folding down towards the floor. Looking forward, flattening the back, folding forward again, exhaling. Right leg back, inhaling, hands to the ceiling. Hands coming back down, exhaling to Tripadasana, all the way down to the mat, Bhujangasana. Inhaling, lifting the head and chest. Exhaling, lifting the hips up to the ceiling in downward facing dog. That's it. Looking forward, inhaling, left foot forward, right knee on the mat, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, hands coming down, stepping forward, folding forward, still exhaling. Inhaling, looking forward, flattening the back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forward. So moving into our third round, finding our own flow, left leg back, hands to ceiling. Finding this flow for yourself, moving through your sun salutation, not only as a flow, as a meditation, as a moving meditation. Right leg comes forward, left knee back on the mat, hands to ceiling. That's it. Bringing the hands down, stepping forward, folding, looking forward with a flat back, folding in again, coming all the way up. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back, folding forward again. Right leg back, right knee on the mat. Inhaling, hands to ceiling. Exhaling, hands coming down through Tripadasana, bending the elbows, Chaturanga, lifting the head and chest, opening the heart in Bhujangasana, then coming up in Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's it. Looking forward, left leg forward, right knee back on the mat. Inhaling, hands reaching up. Exhaling, hands coming down. Stepping forward, folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back, folding forward again. Inhaling, reaching up. Last two rounds, folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back, left leg back, hands reaching up, slight back bend here, that's it. Bringing the hands back down, moving to Tripadasana, and then lifting the hips to the ceiling in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stepping the right leg forward, Hands reaching up again, straight hands, straight arms when we do that. Then stepping forward and folding forward, looking forward, flattening the back. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. This is our last round. Looking forward, flattening the back, folding forward, stepping the right leg back, reaching arms up to the ceiling, keeping the arms straight when they reach up. Coming back down, moving through Tripalasana, Bhujangasana, and then lifting the hips in Ardha Padasana. Looking forward, stepping the left leg forward, right knee back on the mat. Inhaling, reaching the hands up. Exhaling, hands down. Stepping forward, folding forward. Looking forward, flattening the back. Folding forward again. Inhaling, hands to ceiling. And exhaling our hands into the center of the heart. We'll pause here for a few minutes, a few moments, with our hands in the center of the heart. And we'll allow our eyes to close. Allowing our eyes to softly close. Allowing the mouth to be slightly open, releasing the breath through the mouth. Inviting our heart and our breath to slow down, to recover their normal rhythm. Very gradually, we'll separate our palms, let our hands drop by our sides, keeping our eyes closed, bringing our attention for a moment to the heart space, finding that soft smile of mudra, and lifting the tip of our tongue behind our front teeth, and Khechari mudra, channeling all our energy upwards. And before we move into the rest of our class, I want you to set an intention around the idea of the fearless heart. So find the words that for you describe the intention that you want to set. So we're concentrating on this fearless heart, on courage. And we softly blink our eyes open. And we're ready to begin. So we're going to begin, as always, in Tadasana. So we find our lovely stable mountain pose. Our feet are hip distance apart, finding that tuck in the pelvis. So making sure the pelvis is tucked, and that means that our spine is in complete alignment. From the very base of the spine to the very base of the base of the neck. We lift our shoulders up towards our ears, settling our shoulder blades down onto the back, pointing our fingertips down onto towards the mat, and allowing our chin to be slightly tucked towards our chest. We're going to close our eyes and really bring our focus onto our breath here. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Breathing in, feeling the breath fill the abdomen, the rib cage, and the chest. Exhaling, feeling the breath release. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Breathing in, full deep breaths, and exhaling. One more breath all the way in. And all the way out. Blinking our eyes open. From here, we're going to move into Utkatasana, our chair pose, okay? So for Utkatasana, your feet are together and your legs are together, okay? I have to do mine with feet open. My feet are separated, but it's easier with your feet together and your legs together, because with your feet together and your legs together, you have more strength and you support the lower back a little bit more. Okay, so we'll bring our hands into the center of our chest. We'll interlace our fingers apart from our index finger, finding our lovely Kali mudra, Kali that we worked with last week. We'll inhale here, and on an exhale, we're sitting back in this imaginary chair of Utkatasana, lifting our hands up to the ceiling, pointing our fingertips, arms are straight, and the gaze is down just at the mat in front of us. Feeling that there's a straight line from the tips of your fingers to the base of your spine. That's it. And breathing here, focusing on the breath, channeling the breath to sustain us in this strength building asana. Keep the breath flowing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For this last breath, sit a little deeper. Send the breath towards those legs. I know they're feeling it. And exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the hands back into the heart center, straightening into the legs, standing all the way up into Tadasana, giving the legs a shake if they need it, and settling back into Tadasana. 2 breaths here, continuing this focus on the breath. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Blinking our eyes open. From here, we're going to move into Uttanasana. And Uttanasana, we've done it already a few times this morning. It's our forward fold. But when we're in Uttanasana now, I really want you to focus on how our forward fold can open the heart space. So folding forward and really letting the back, the upper back be open, okay? So having our hands in line with our feet. If our fingertips or our hands reach the floor, you can really press in. So if you're down and you can press in with your hands beside your feet, that'll help you open the shoulders a little bit more. Okay, so feet are about hip distance apart, hands into the center of the chest. We're going to inhale, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, looking upwards, and then exhaling, bringing the palms together. We're going to fold towards the earth. Folding, folding, folding from the hips, bringing the fingers in line with the feet. The legs can be straight, there can be a slight bend if we need it. And we're going to fold here, okay? So folding forward, releasing the head. The head is looking back at the wall behind us. That's it, releasing the neck. Closing the eyes, pressing the fingertips into the floor if you can reach. And really focusing on the opening that's happening between the shoulder blades here. Breathing, full deep breaths. Continue breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last breath all the way in. And all the way out. Blinking the eyes open. We're gradually going to come out, rolling very, very slowly upwards. Imagine stacking each vertebra on top of each other. All the way back until we come back up into Tadasana. Standing tall, closing our eyes again here. 2 transitory breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in and breathing out. Opening our eyes. From here, we're going to move into an asana that you mightn't think is a heart opener, but it can be, okay? We're going to do a sequence of 2 asanas that are related to each other and that we use quite a lot when we do flow yoga or vinyasa yoga. We're going to move into Udita Trikonasana, triangle pose, and then from there, we're going to build it into half moon pose. And I'm going to show you a little variation on half moon pose that's fun as well. So first of all, we're going to move into Trikonasana. So grab your block if you need it. And we're going to start with the right foot forward. So the right foot pointing forward, left foot parallel with the short end of your mat. Take a moment to check your alignment. The heel of your front foot is in line with the arch of your back foot. And our block is near our front foot. I have a distance between the block and the foot, but you can always adjust this when you move down. Okay? So putting your hands on our hips, finding that we're facing forward. Bringing our hands up to a nice horizontal line. We're going to bend slightly into that front leg, lean over until we can bring our right hand down in contact with the block. The left arm can rest on the thigh for the moment. So our right hand is in contact with the block. We're going to straighten into that right leg. And this left shoulder, I want you to bring it back to the wall behind you. This is our heart opener. And then lift the left hand all the way up to the ceiling. Looking straight ahead. The left hand and the right hand are in a direct straight line with each other. So bring the left arm as straight as you can. That's it, and breathing here. If you feel steady in your balance, particularly if you're using a block, you can bring your gaze up to your left hand. So we're looking up towards the ceiling, looking up the thumbs of our left hand. That's it, breathing here. One more full deep breath. We're going to bring our left hand back down to our thigh. Our gaze goes down to our right foot, bend the right leg, and we're slowly bringing ourselves back up to a vertical position. Trying not to knock the block. Zigzag back into the center and close the eyes for a moment. 2 breaths here before moving to the other side. Inhaling. And exhale. Another breath in. And all the way out. Blinking our eyes open. We're going to pick up the block. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time, the block is near our left foot. Our left foot is forward. Our right leg is parallel with the short end of our mat. Again, bringing our hands to our hips, feeling that our hips are facing forward. Bringing our hands up to this nice horizontal line. Take a slight bend in the left leg to lean over towards the left. Bring that left hand down onto that block. The right hand can rest on the thigh. Then straighten into that left leg. Bring this right shoulder back towards the wall behind you. Opening the chest and shoot that right arm all the way up towards the sky. That's it. Picking up a lovely straight line from the tip of your right hand all the way to your left hand. Breathe in here. Again, if you feel that your balance is good, you can bring your gaze up to the tip of your right fingers. Keep the breath flowing. And then gradually dropping that right hand back down, looking down towards your left foot, bending a little into that left foot, move the block out of the way, coming all the way back up to Tadasana. 2 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in and breathing out. Opening our eyes. We're going to move from here into a pose that's very related to Trikonasana. So this is why we tried it first. So take a moment and I'll show you what it looks like. So this time we're starting from Tadasana and I'm going to put the block over towards my right side. Okay. I'm going to take a step forward with my right foot and I'm going to bring my right hand down onto the block. I'm going to steady myself here and I'm gradually going to lift this left leg up into the air. Stay here if this is enough, or if you feel nice and steady and the block helps, we're going to turn our whole body over towards the left and bring this arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, so it's kind of like Trikonasana, like what we just did, but our legs and arms are in the air. Okay, and if you want an extra challenge, whether you're looking at this on the video and you want to try this afterwards, what we can do is we can bend this right leg, this left leg, and grip it in our hand. See if I can keep my balance here. No. I'm going to look down for a moment to find my balance. So we can grip the left leg in our left hand and create a bit more, and leaning back slightly, you can create a bit more of a heart opening space here. You can practice this on the video if you want, okay? It's just an option. And to come out, we're just going to drop the legs back down and then roll up from Uttanasana. Okay, so we'll do it in stages and use the block. The block helps us find our steadiness. So from Tadasana, at one end of the mat, you're putting your block about halfway up your mat, over towards the right. We're going to step halfway forward with our right foot, bend into your right knee, and place your right hand down on the block. Steady yourself here, so straighten into your right leg, look down at the mat, and steady yourself. Allow the left leg to lift up. And then once we're feeling steady, we're going to open up towards the left. Opening up, lifting the hands straight up. If it's enough to stay with just lifting the left leg, it's fine to stay with just lifting the left leg. I want you to find your balance, find your point where you can feel you can lift that left leg. If you want, Maria, you have a great wall behind you. If you want to do it beside the wall, do it beside the wall. And Natasha, if you can do it beside the wall, try it beside the wall. If you have enough space, move towards the wall. I don't have enough space in here to do it beside the wall. No, you don't have enough space. I think Maria is the only one who has the wall. Okay, so we've tried it. We've tried out what it feels like on that side. Okay, so we're all going to gradually bring that left leg down, drop down, folding forward in Uttanasana, and we're going to peel ourselves back up into Tadasana. Okay, come back up into Tadasana. We'll take 2 breaths. We'll clear ourselves of everything before moving on to the other side. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling. One more full breath, all the way in. And all the way out. Open your eyes. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bear in mind that it's always different on the other side. So we're going to come to the other end. place the block forward. It's over to the left this time. And if you were to do it at the wall, you can do it and actually throw yourself against a wall. I'm not going to throw myself against the TV, but you'd have the block right against the wall. And the idea is that you'd lean into the wall when you open up. Okay, so if you're going to do it against the wall, Maria, just have the block right beside the wall and then lean into the wall as you move forward. So you place your bum on the wall and place your arms on the wall as you move up. Okay, so this time, step the left foot forward, bring that left hand down onto the block, and bring your weight. Just play with trying to bring your weight forward and lifting that back leg up. Focusing your gaze on the mat in front of you and just allowing that leg to lift. Finding how far that leg lifts. Finding steadiness. That's it. And when we find that steadiness, that's when we begin to open. So we can open up into our half moon pose. That's it, just playing around with balance. If you're going for the full bind, make sure you've got Ardha Chandrasana. Set up the full pose first and get really steady in the pose. Focus your gaze and then grab your foot. Okay. Right, trying to find that point of balance again. And if you're going for the bind, press your foot into your hand and it brings more of an opening. It's quite a deep sensation in the hips. Okay. So I think we're nearly ready to come out. So to come out of the asana, bringing your hands down if it's in the air, bringing that right leg down, folding forward into Uttanasana, and gradually bringing ourselves all the way back up into Tadasana. Taking 2 breaths here, transitioning. After this asana, clearing the way for the next. Another breath all the way in. And all the way out. Opening our eyes again. From here, we're going to move on to the mat and we're going to do a couple of asanas on the mat. So we'll use our sun salutations to move down, come up to the top of the mat, hands into the center of the chest, raising our hands up towards the ceiling, opening the heart, folding forward, looking forward, flattening the back, folding in again, right leg back, left leg back. And from your all fours position, you can sit back and bring your legs out in front. We're going to move into one of my favorite asanas, which is quite a mouthful, Parvrita Janu Sirsasana. And it's a nice side opening stretch. So we're going to come into a nice pose where we have our left leg out to the side and our right foot is in towards the groin area. Okay, if you can see, I'm wearing black leggings, it's not the best. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to lean our left hand over towards our left leg, maybe grip the toes, maybe grip the big toes with our index finger and our middle finger of our left hand, and we're just going to lean over that way. Okay, the right hand can shoot up towards the ceiling, and we can lean all the way over towards the left if it's available to us. Okay, maybe eventually coming down to grip the left foot. So our focus here is not just lifting, it's opening the heart. So think about bringing that right shoulder back to the wall behind you. Okay, opening, yeah. So it's like that, that's it, yeah. Lift it straight up, Fabiola, and keep it there. Okay, keep it up towards the ceiling. Yeah, everybody keep it up towards the ceiling. It looks better there. That's it. And breathing here. Two more breaths. Then to come out, we're going to lift that right hand, sorry, I mixed up today, all the way back up to the ceiling. Lifting both hands up to the ceiling for a moment. Exhaling, bringing the hands back down. We're going to switch the legs. So left leg comes in, right leg comes out. If your knee isn't on the floor, just place a block beneath it. Okay. And then we're going to bring our right hand all the way down to meet our right toes, if it goes that far. If it doesn't, grab onto the ankle or the shin bone. Grab wherever you can reach. Bend the elbow. And then again, just like we did in Trikonasana, you're bringing that left shoulder back. So if you bring your left shoulder back, you'll feel this from your left hip all the way up to your left shoulder. And then straighten the hand up into the air. Taking a few breaths here. And if you feel it's available, you can lean all the way over to the side. Maybe your left hand finds contact with your right foot. It doesn't have to. And breathing here. Two more breaths. So I'm bringing this left arm back up to the ceiling. Bringing our both hands up. Exhaling, hands down. Both legs come out in front. So we're sitting in Dandasana. So staff pose, toes pointing towards the ceiling, hand resting beside the thighs. Closing the eyes here, taking two breaths, all the way in and all the way out. Blinking the eyes open. We're going to move from here into Bhujangasana, okay? I'm giving you two options. You can do Bhujangasana, Cobra, where you're lying flat and you're lifting the head and chest, just like we do in the sun salutations. Or you can join me and do Upward Dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. In Urdhva Mukha, only our hands and the top of our feet are on the mat. For obvious reasons, I can't lie down on my tummy. So that's why I'm giving you the option. You can do Urdhva Mukha. So we come over onto our hands and our feet, and we're going to come down into this asana through Tripadasana. So from Tripadasana, we're setting up, our hands are directly beneath our shoulders, they're shoulder width apart, and they're lovely and nicely spread wide on the mat. We're going to send our left foot back and our right foot back, finding our strong high plank. And either flip the feet so that the tops of your feet are pressing down into the mat, and allow the pelvis to sink down. Lifting the head and shoulders up towards the sky. That's it. This is Urdhva Mukha. If this feels too intense, you can bring down the knees and the hips and be in Bhujangasana. Okay. So keeping the gaze towards the ceiling. That's it. It's a lovely heart opener pose. It's lovely and releasing for the lower back. One more breath here. And exhaling, we'll sit all the way back into child's pose, opening the legs, knees nice and wide, stretching our hands forward, bringing our forehead down onto the mat or stacking our fists and allowing our forehead to rest on top of our fists. I'm taking two breaths here. And another one all the way in. And all the way out. We'll slowly come back up into our all fours position. And from here, we're moving into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So knees are beneath the hips, hands are slightly further forward than the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, pressing the head back between the elbows, looking at the wall behind us, releasing the head, and breathing here. Allowing the heels to sink down towards the mat. Two more full deep breaths here. Getting ready to come out of the asana. We're going to bring our knees down onto the mat. We're going to sit back on our heels and bring our hands to rest on our thighs. Closing the eyes for 2 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Again in. And all the way out. Opening the eyes. We're going to move into a comfortable pose for Savasana, for relaxation. So grab a jumper, a blanket, socks, whatever you need. To be comfortable in your Savasana. And Savasana is often called the pose of surrender. So today, with our focus on our fearless heart, we're surrendering our body. And in Savasana, we're giving our body the chance to absorb everything that we've moved within this practice. So lying on our backs, allowing the body to be big, feet extend, maybe the toes are flopping outwards. The palms are turned upwards to face the ceiling. And we allow the eyes to softly close. Bringing our attention towards the breath. We're simply going to observe the breath, how it moves in and out through the body. Observing the natural rhythm of breath. How every breath we take is automatic. The body will keep taking breaths. For the next few moments, observing this flow of breath in and out through the body, we know that we can surrender and that we don't have to do anything else. Very slowly we'll start moving into the fingers, into the toes, bringing awareness back into the body, bringing yourself back into Wednesday morning. Gradually bringing yourselves up to a seated position for our meditation. And as you're slowly bringing yourselves up to a seated meditation, the meditation that or a seated position, the meditation that we're going to use today, as I said at the start of class, uses a mudra. It's called, I have to just check the Sanskrit, Abhaya Hridaya Mudra. Abhaya Hridaya. Fearless open heart is what the mudra is. But this mudra, it's not only about giving us courage and things like that, it also activates different things within the body. So in yoga and in Ayurveda, the fingertips have lots of energetic points within the body. So mudras are these hand gestures like Namaskar mudra that we do often, or Kali mudra that we do often, or you might know ones like that. Yeah. So all these mudras are meant to activate different channels of energy within the body, because in yoga they believe that there's lots of these different channels that move throughout the body. And by placing our fingers in a certain way, we're activating a different channel within the body. So this channel brings, it nourishes the heart and the lungs, and it aids digestion. And that's what autumn is all about. Autumn is all about the digestive system and also the lungs as well. We haven't focused on the lungs this time. We might do it next autumn. But the heart, the lungs and the digestive system are the organs of focus for autumn, okay? So this mudra isn't taught to not only aid digestion, but it aids vitality. So it gives us energy. It gives us energy to face whatever we need to face through our day. It gives us a sense of vitality through improving our heart, our lungs, and our digestive functioning. And it can also help us to overcome anything that we feel that is creating a particular obstacle in our path at the moment, okay? Whatever that might be. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be big, it could be small, whatever it is. And there doesn't have to be obstacles either. So what we'll do is we'll start the mudra, and then we'll do a few deep breaths, and then we'll move into the meditation. So the mudra, it looks a bit funny. We're going to start by bringing our hands together, right? Our palms are facing each other. And then I want you to bring your right hand closer to your chest, and then have the backs of your hands pressing together. Okay? Yeah, like that. Now we're going to interlace our little finger, our middle finger, and our index finger. Okay, so we've interlaced our little finger, our middle finger, and our index finger. And then we're going to bring our ring finger and our thumb together. That's it? Great. Okay, so we've got our mudra. Hold it. I'm going to sit back down. So to activate our mudra, we're going to bring our mudra into our heart center. Okay? So sitting up nice and tall, our mudra, our hands are resting near our chest. And we're simply going to close our eyes, bringing our gaze inwards. And we'll focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out through the nose. 4, 5, and 6. 2 more breaths like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Another one all the way in. And all the way out. Releasing the breath, knowing that the breath now can be natural, we're bringing our attention to our heart center. Placed beneath our palms, placed beneath our Abhaya Hridaya mudra. And we're finding that soft smile on our lips again. Mahamudra, the grand gesture, which opens ourselves up to connection with our inner self, our inner guide, our inner master. For the next few moments, we'll focus all our attention on this space in the center of the heart, calling our focus back whenever it drifts away, because it always drifts away. Gently calling it back, no matter how many times we have to do so. And from our heart center, bringing your focus to the throat. Imagining a door opening here. Imagining another one opening in the center of our forehead, our third eye. And another in the very crown of our head. Through these openings, we're asking Mahashakti, or the divine universal force, to descend within us, to fill us with light. We gradually take a moment before we come out of meditation to give thanks to Mahashakti, to our inner guide, and to ourselves for making time and space for yoga this morning. And thanks for all that we've received through our practice. And gradually blink our eyes open. We release our mudra. Bring our hands back into a prayer position. Inhaling, bring the hands up. And exhaling, stretching them out. So we'll do that 2 more times. So inhaling, bringing them up. Exhaling. This is feeling into our electromagnetic field around us. That's it. Last one. Inhaling. And exhaling. Hands come back into the center of the heart. Om Shanti. I hope you have a really lovely day and a really great week. Next week will be our last week of class. Next week is going to be a yin yoga practice, so something a bit different than we normally do. And we will need cushions, bolsters, blankets, whatever you have on hand. I'll make a list and I'll send it in the group as well. And when I've a clear idea of what we're going to do, I'll make you a list and send it on as well. But it'll be a different practice, one that you can drop into then afterwards if you want to come back to it. So I'll turn off the recording. Any questions or comments, more than welcome.